Oh, it was a good story. It was a good script, and it reminded me a little bit of this movie that I love called Midnight Run. And you know, I was a big fan of the movie Boomerang that Reginald Hudlin directed, and it just, you know, when you're being offered things or looking at movies, you kind of just, you look at the story, you look at the character, you look at the people involved, and if it all seems like it kind of works, you say yes. My character in this movie is named Joe Tyler, and he's a kind of a low-life process server. He's one of those guys that serves subpoenas all the time and gets himself into really dangerous situations. And he's a darker character than most of the characters I've played before, which drew me to the project because, you know, I thought it was time to change it up a little bit. So, I mean, he's definitely a funny guy, but it's coming from a little bit of a darker place, so it's cool. And plus, he, you know, gets to kiss Elizabeth Hurley, so, you know, what can be bad about that? Reginald Hudlin is directing this movie, and he directed he directed a lot of good things, but he directed the movie Boomerang, which I thought was really terrific, and it's one of those movies I've seen over and over again because it's really funny. And the interesting thing that we've been able to come up with this kind of rapport of working that, you know, I'll come up with my 10 stupid ideas of something funny, and he'll say no to 9 of them, and then one of them might sneak in. But it's interesting because he kind of sits on me a little bit, you know, which I think I need from time to time, because some of my ideas are kind of off the wall, and he'll bring me back down. And, you know, I really like him. He's a really cool guy. Tony's played by Vincent Pastore, who's a really, really funny guy. He's on The Sopranos, and you know, when I first saw him, it was like, oh, wow, Sopranos, cool. And he's really funny because he looks like a thug, you know. He looks like he's going to be really mean, and then he'll just say like the kookiest funny things, and you're like, wow, this is a really nice guy. Milton is played by Jerry Stiller, who's a comedy god-like person, and he plays. It was just so much fun to work with this guy, and he plays this man that I, you know, kind of give some money to, and he helps me out along my road, but he's just so funny. I mean, you just look at the guy, whatever comes out of his mouth is hysterical.